Hello, everybody. It's Monday morning. It's 11 o'clock, and it's time for Doobie TV. And welcome, and thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're tuning in live or whether you're catching the replay. Comment in the comment section where you're coming from. And if it's the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Let me know what you think. Love to hear your thoughts on that. Okay, so we're going to be talking today about going from slavery to freedom. Last night we completed already the third evening of the holiday of 8 days of Passover. Friday night we had a Seder each night. In Israel there's only one, but outside in the exiled world here we have two. So we have a chance to improve from one night to the next, or do additional ways of explaining what this whole holiday means. And this whole holiday of Passover, going from slavery to freedom, is all about the Haggadah, what we call the telling. It's based upon one phrase that's written in the Bible, in the Torah, and the Tanakh there, that we should teach our children all about that which you shall teach a child in that day, the miracles that God did for me when I left Egypt and fulfilled the Torah commandments. So that is a complete elaboration, this Haggadah, this booklet that we use. This is just one of them that's out there, from ancient Egypt to modern Israel, but there's many, many different versions, including one that has the Maxwell Coffee House version of the wonderful Mrs. Maisel, I guess is her name. So at any rate, that'll be a collector's item, I'm sure. But at any rate, hey, Jody, thanks for joining in on Doobie TV here today. Excellent. So what I want to talk about here today particularly is going from slavery to freedom, tell you a little bit about Passover, our celebration, the meaning it is for me and for my family, and then talk about what it means to also have this freedom to be able to work at home, freedom to be able to work, having a mobile phone here and having that capability to do wherever I want, to be able to run my business any place that I want to be. And that's kind of exciting too. So this is the defining moment of the Jewish people. It's leaving Egypt after all the years. If you remember the story of Joseph and going down into Egypt, his brothers threw him in a pit and he ends up in a caravan. He rises to be the viceroy of Egypt and what have you. But eventually there's a famine going on in the land of Canaan, and all the Israelites end up going to Egypt in the land of Goshen so that they can have food to eat and be able to survive. And having Joseph in that kind of position was the right place at the right time. Long story, we won't get into that now, and some of you may remember it from your Bible studies. But at any rate, the Jewish people were eventually enslaved by Pharaoh, by another Pharaoh, not the original Pharaoh, who had favored Joseph and the Israelite people. And you got this character named Moses who ends up leading the Jewish people out of Egypt. And after building pyramids and after hard labor and embittered lives, they end up, after 10 plagues, if you recall, Pharaoh finally relents and they head off to the land of Israel. Excuse me. It's a journey from slavery and oppression in Egypt to this wonderful miracle of this modern state of Israel, which, by the way, just read today in the Jerusalem Post, was listed. Israel was the 8th most influential country in the world. There's a whole listing just above Japan and I believe a few other countries there, obviously. The United States,